All right. Here we are. Welcome, Caleb, BEVS and Biz podcast. Today, we have the honor of having Caleb. Should we say you're a California native at this point? Located in...
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay, located in what city?
I was technically born in California.
Born in California.
In Redding, yeah.
Redding. So, all the way from California, our first out of state, he flew in just for this. And we're sampling, per Caleb's request, tell us about the drink we're sampling today.
It's called Spilt Milk,
Yep.
and to be honest, this is a good representation of great marketing because I wanted to try it.
Yeah.
Because a DP that I follow made a really good commercial for it. So.
Okay. This is caffeinated milk. 20 grams of protein. I'm big on the protein lately. You got to hear the sips too. I kind of like to ASMR, you know.
That's straight it tastes like a straight up milkshake.
You like it?
It's good, yeah.
1 to 10. Hit us with the rating.
So I, unlike yourself, I don't really drink soda or sugary beverages. How much sugar does this have? 0 grams of sugar. See, that's suspicious to me. I also get kind of sussed out when drinks that taste this good have 0 sugar. I'm like, what's in there that's giving me cancer?
Tons of protein too.
Tons of protein. Honestly, taste-wise, it's like a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
But for me, it's just it tastes so unhealthy that I'll give it a 7.
So overall rating is 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this. I give this an 8 because I'm big on the protein lately.
It's
so
really good.
Like any good protein you can get with only 90 calories. Yeah, it's not the tastiest thing ever, but for the calories and the lack of sugar, the good protein with a decent taste, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. So there you have it.
It tastes like a strawberry milkshake. It's good.
Yeah, but I feel like protein always has that little kind of gritty aftertaste.
Yeah.
Not gritty, but I don't know what it is.
I got to be careful how much caffeine is in it.
60, which isn't, that's like a Diet
Yeah.
Coke, a very small coffee. Okay, Caleb, excited to chat with you today. First, just tell us about yourself. I want to just hear, we're just very quickly chatting. Caleb, how did we meet? We met through...
I graduated college and had applied to an editor role at Moto when you were at some building in Lehigh.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you were working with Nate. I swear Nate also referred you
Nate
to
Bawley.
us or something. Nate Bawley.
Yeah.
And he said, this guy's awesome. We met. You were hustling. And, tell us where your story's gone from there.
Well, I was born in Seattle, Washington. Grew up there. Sorry, that's not true. I was born in Redding, California. Moved to Seattle, Washington. Was raised in Woodinville,
Nice.
which you're familiar with, right?
Yes, I was 5 minutes from there.
Yeah. And then when I graduated high school and turned 18, I went to University of Utah primarily because I had some family that moved out here. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so I had some older siblings out here. All my siblings had kind of gone to Utah. And I loved skiing. So I was like, I'll go to University of Utah. It gets me out of state. And
Was it mostly just cool skiing and a cool college?
It was basically that college sounds cool. And nice. I could ski every day. And I skied 75 days my freshman year.
Wow, nice.
But I went to the business school, in the business scholars program. And I didn't even consider film production, videography, any of that until I did a study abroad my junior year. Went to London and lived there for 6 months. Yeah. And on my trip to London, I'll say it, I'm kind of embarrassed about it now, but I was, Sam Colder, found Sam Colder on YouTube. He was making travel influencer films and with a lot of drone footage. And I was like, that's so cool. So I got a drone before I went to my study abroad, and I basically just filmed I went to 11 different countries, and every country I went to, I'd bring my Mavic Air, the original Mavic Air, and my iPhone, and would make these just horrible videos looking back. But I had so much fun. I was making these travel videos with my drone.
That's awesome.
Got pretty good at flying the drone. And when I moved back, the study abroad director of the program saw some stuff I was putting on Instagram, and he was like, this is great. Could I pay you to make a promo video for the program, the study abroad program? And I was like, baffled. I was like, wait, you would pay me? I think he offered me $600.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, I can just put together these clips I made and you'll pay me $600. And so that kind of got me thinking oh, this is a career. I don't know why I never thought about I knew people made commercials, people made movies and documentaries, and
Yeah. But did anyone around you do it? Or
No.
maybe, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
nobody that I knew growing up. And so it never crossed my mind. But that was the first time I was like, oh, I enjoy this so much. I could potentially do this. So when I got back from my study abroad, I looked at like internships. I asked some mentors of mine, which is how I met Nate Bali. And I asked him, like, I'm a junior in college, should I quit? Or not quit, but transfer to film school? And he was like, absolutely not. Like, get your business degree. Doesn't matter what it is.
Good advice.
Start making videos because that's all that actually matters. And you don't need to go to film school or anything. So I just, I think I was like in management. I shifted to marketing because it was, film productions marketing. And so I was like, I'll get my business degree and I'll just start filming things. So I just started filming, activities with my friends, skiing and whatnot. I started filming real estate with my drone, making money that way. And then I got an internship at the Sorensen Impact Center at the U and joined their like film student internship. And that's when I first started doing like documentary films and just fell in love with it. Graduated 2020 in COVID, went on spring break in March to San Diego.
Fresh. See, it's making me realize like how fresh into video you were when we met you. I assumed you'd been doing it for a while.
Definitely faking it.
You were
I was
crushing.
faking it till I make it with you. And like I had like experience because I had done a year at this place where I was editing a bunch of like documentary films. So I knew how to edit. I knew like DaVinci kind of. Actually, no, that's a funny story. I totally lied to you and told you I knew DaVinci.
Yeah. I don't take offense.
I edited.
I didn't know what I was doing.
I edited in Adobe and Premiere, and
we
you
said DaVinci.
You were like, "Do you know DaVinci?" And I was like, yes. And then I looked up YouTube videos right after on how to do DaVinci.
Nice.
So that was, it was very new, but I went on spring break for my senior year of college and never came back to school. Isn't that crazy? Because of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
My class,
Wild.
it was 2020 when that all hit. So I never went back to an in-person college class
And you
again.
graduated and everything.
Graduated, but just like online. And was like looking for jobs in like ad agencies and things. I was like, maybe I'll be a copywriter. I was looking for any jobs. And I was like, why don't I spend all this time I'm investing into looking for a job that I probably won't even like, and you're just trying to be freelance. Mm-hmm. So I decided to like send it as a freelance, cinematographer and editor, and that's about the time that I had met you. So
cool.
I know you asked for after I met you, but that's the story.
No, I wanted to hear before. And I hadn't like sat down with you and ever heard your story from like going to college to here and kind of what led you. And it's cool that, what a weird time to like be figuring out kind of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Also, I really like just listening to you because my story feels similar and it's fun to just meet people. Like I loved skiing. I literally, started doing this just making ski videos with my buddies. It was just
I feel like that's how everyone in Utah
whatever.
starts, and I love that. Like they just start filming their buddies skiing or whatever. So.
Skateboarding or doing whatever, literally jumping on the trampoline or whatever. So it's fun to hear your story. And honestly, you did a good job. Like, dude, you were legit. I think it just goes to show that like, just act like you know what you're doing. I didn't know you didn't know Resolve, and I didn't know Resolve at that point either. But it was, I felt like you were solid and you knew what you were talking about and you just make it happen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So Caleb is he's a freelancer. I think so far on this podcast, we've had I think our target market is more kind of business owners / creative people, but like you're kind of our first full-time freelancer. We've had a person with a team, a small team. We've had a person who works in-house as like a head of marketing. And so tell us, just give us a snippet on like the freelancer. Maybe you're talking to the guy or girl out there who's like, how do I don't know, videos. How do I even do that as a freelancer? What is a freelancer? Mm-hmm. Give us just kind of the basics on that.
Yeah. So I would say that I've been given really good advice, which allowed me to go freelance and at least have the confidence, not even the expectation that it was going to be really hard. Because it is really hard. I worked 3 years full-time at Backcountry after a year of freelancing and working with you. I got a job at Backcountry, learned a lot there, like did the in-house thing. So I would say that it is valuable to somebody to be in-house somewhere. It gives you secure paycheck, and gives you the opportunity to safely learn a lot.
Yeah, it did, and what a cool company.
Yeah, I also believe I was there at like the peak of backcountry content creation, where they were allowing us to do these really cool branded documentaries and all sorts of cool stuff. So the first thing I would say to someone who's looking to go freelance is, if you have zero experience, and you've just been watching Danny Gevirtz on YouTube and like think you're going to go freelance, you can. It's going to be really hard. If you have the opportunity to go in-house somewhere, I got lucky because Backcountry is such a cool company, but even if it's a less sexy company where you're just making corporate videos.
An HVAC company.
Yeah. That process of the production process that you'll be able to safely learn in-house of, pre-production, filming it, and then going in the editing bay and just the reps that you get. I mean, just the most insane part of my job at Backcountry is I was way overworked, but I wouldn't have changed a thing because I got so many reps in.
Yeah.
To where when I need to edit a 30-second commercial, it's so easy for me.
Yeah.
I was putting together these 12 to 20-minute documentaries in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And those reps were really valuable. So I would say to someone wanting to go freelance, if you're young and in college or just out of college, and you have the opportunity to get a job in-house somewhere, it's valuable for sure.
Yeah.
And then when you go freelance, I think it's really important to understand, and this is what everyone told me, and they were right, the connections you make will not turn into work until 6 months at the earliest to a year, maybe 2, maybe more down the line. And so
that is good.
You need to be aware and have the expectation that what the connections you're making and reaching out to people, it is valuable, but you're not going to have work from that person, if you have work from them at all, for maybe a year down the line. So I quit to move to California, and I knew that it was going to be at least 6 months of not getting work.
Yeah.
I'd say it took about 4 before I was finally getting some work. And I went into debt to do it. So if you don't have money saved up, expect to go into debt because you're not going to be making money for a while. The preferred, if I could.
Obviously that wouldn't be your ideal choice.
No, I would go freelance with 6 months of living expenses saved up. So if you can do that, I think that would be the best option. But that would be my advice. Get those reps in. And if you're not working at a company and you need those reps in, go make the stuff you want to make every day. That's the advice I would give.
I feel like this podcast is gearing towards people who are, similar shoes as you, coming out of college or looking or figuring out, what they want to do to find a job. And I love your tip right there. It's not the sexiest advice, but I think it's one of the most important things, which is go bust your balls at this company, because then things are easier. People will make fun of wedding videos. That's a common thing. And that's what started me when I was 12 years old. But go film a wedding, edit it this very same day, turn it around, burn it on a disc, and play it for the people at the reception.
Yeah.
And see how, if you'd make fun of that person now, because, or the company where you're cranking out an edit with, a super tight turnaround and doing it frequently, then I think work becomes easier when you realize, oh, I cranked on that. And those repetitions were, super fast and hard.
Yeah.
And now everything else feels easier.
Well, I think that makes me think that the best part of having those reps down is now that stuff's easy and you can prepare for what's actually hard being a freelancer, which is running your own business, or if you want to make a production company. You're then dealing with the client. When you're in-house, you can just do those reps, like I said, safely, and that's your job, and you're doing those reps.
Not too much drama.
But as soon as you go freelance, you have admin, personal finances to deal with. You have client outreach. You have managing the relationships with everybody you work with. And that is the most time consuming now for me. And so the filming and editing, that, I have that down.
Yeah.
And I think it's important you have that down before you go freelance, because you need to be ready for all the other challenges.
Do all the other things. Yeah. Finding work, meeting people, connections. Yeah. I mean, it's you call freelancers, but you're small business owners. It's the same. It's the same thing.
you make an LLC with a name and
you should.
Yeah.
If we want to get into that, like not only tax advantages and organization of finances and whatever, but we don't have to go that deep. But okay, so you're freelancing. You've left your full-time job. Mistake. Tell me the biggest mistake you think you've made in your business or in this. Let's just call it this. Past 2 years of the transition from leaving a job to doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Make it hurt. I want to hear some deep pain here. It doesn't have to be that painful.
I think the biggest mistake that I made was sitting in my apartment in California, sending emails, sending LinkedIn messages, doing cold outreach because I'm starting to feel desperate. I need work. I don't have my job. Like, I don't have any connections out here. I need clients. Just doing everything I can for cold outreach. I remember hitting up Hunter.
Yeah, that's not that bad. That's not that bad,
Well,
though. Okay, keep
let me
going.
know.
I don't want to cut you off.
For me personally, because I'm not a production company, I'm an individual. I spent so much time doing that.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, you're not creating things. You're not making things, which is what gets me going.
Yeah.
What I started doing different, and I've talked to other DPs and directors that went freelance recently and feel the same way. You spend time doing that, and you get really discouraged when you send out 100 emails and maybe one responds or maybe none do, and you're like panicking because you still don't have work. Then if I went out every day with my camera and made something that I thought was the only work that I've gotten since the day I went freelance is because I went out and made a spec ad, or maybe a connection did come up and I got a paid job. I went out and made that job and I got work because someone saw that and wanted something similar. And so clients do not take a chance on you from your cold email being like, hey, I'd love to make video content for your brand, blah, 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 blah. You can have the best email in the world and it might interest them, but really they're going to look at the work you've done and hire you based off that. And so if you're not getting hired for the work you want to do, you need to go out, make that work, and clients will come to you. And if they're not, then your cold outreach, you at least have a portfolio that they're interested in. So just, yes, outreach is important. I think you should still be doing it, but I spent way too much time just getting stressed out that I wasn't getting responded to on my cold outreach. Yep. And every time I was like, screw it, I'm going to go out, I'm going to plan this shoot and make it. I got work from that spec ad or from whatever it was.
Yeah. I don't want to because trust me, I've been kind of not a believer in cold email, but we are doing it now. And even normal response rates are less than 2 to 3% at best.
Yep.
And that's really thoughtful, big email campaigns with huge delivery rates, thousands and thousands of people being hit. So I don't disagree with you, but I'm oh, that's not that bad a mistake. You shouldn't beat yourself up too much for that. But I think you're totally right. Maybe especially as you're finding your way in a community or getting started in a new location with new connections, if you're not making work, then I think it's almost impossible.
It's impossible.
And I do believe that's the number one important thing.
So you just said...
So you kind of answered my second question too, which is the number one piece of advice or that brought you success. I assume that it was kind of the same answer.
Well,
right?
I don't know if I can be considered successful yet, but I have started to have some success
at
the end of the year. What you said that kind of, to my point is you have such a low success rate of cold outreach, and Moto Studios has an incredible portfolio. Years and years.
Nice. I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that way?
I don't feel that I still feel the same way you do. I know you feel everyone feels oh, that's nice that you say that and you say, oh, I've got a great portfolio, but I still feel the same way you do, which is could be better.
Yeah. I guess my point is though, if you have even less of a portfolio than Moto, which Moto's been around for years, you have, some big stuff under your belt, to be doing cold outreach and spending all your time doing that to clients, it's very, very, very unlikely that they are going to hire you because they're just going to hire you based off your work. So to sum up my advice, it is clients do not take a chance on you by you telling them hey, I could do this for you. Yeah. They're going to look at what you've done and they're going to say, I want that exact same thing. And that is advice that Nate Bawley gave to me years ago, and I kind of like, I remembered it, but it didn't truly hit me, or I didn't experience it in my own life until this year going freelance.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's clients, they don't ask you to do something new that you've never done before. They say, we know you can do this because you've done it before, and we want you to do the same thing for our brand.
It's so true. And I'm gonna put this to a statistic. I'm gonna say 95% of our current clients, maybe 5% of only the ones that we've worked with on a regular basis, are we like pitching a new idea that they're like, okay, go ahead. But it literally is years, and the new people, no way. Like 100% agree.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some like, this has got to be soup. You work from home. You've got your office in your same space. Balancing like your personal life. I don't know much where you're at as far as like, I know you're a dog dad. I don't know what else, much of what you do in your personal time. I know you like to ski. I know a little bit about you, but how do you balance work and life? Give me some gems of advice there. That's tough as a freelancer who's hustling.
Yeah, I am a dog dad. I do like to spend time outside. I would say that the number one reason I moved to California was actually to learn to surf.
Okay.
So my whole life wanted to learn to surf. I do like every other outdoor sport. I bike, I ski, backpack, all these things, and I just never lived, by the ocean to like consistently surf and learn how to surf. So,
and have you been able to spend time like doing it?
Yeah. So I went out and I was like, if anything else, like I'm going to come out here, obviously I need to be freelancing, my business going, but like I'm moving to California. I'm going to learn to surf. So
that's awesome.
I've surfed a lot. I still suck. It's like the most difficult sport I've ever done.
It's so hard. Yeah.
Surfing is a big activity that I do too. And honestly, I love it so much because even skiing, I have my phone in my pocket on the chairlift and I'm checking it. Like, you're completely disconnected. I mean, some people wear like at their Apple Watch, but when you're out there, you don't have your phone, you are doing nothing but like trying to surf, and it's so hard, so you have to be focused. So I do a lot of that. In terms of balancing work, I have to give myself routine and schedule because I don't have a company doing it for me. I love that. I think that it's conducive to like the way I want to live my life. I don't think it's conducive to how everyone wants to live their life. And you might realize when you go freelance that you do better when a company or someone is giving you structure and you don't have to give it to yourself. But I have a morning routine from like 6 a.m. until 8 a.m.
Okay.
And then I try and...
Did you have to kind of figure this routine out, or was it like, I know I'm going to need to do this? Or
like I've had a morning routine for years, even when I worked full-time at Backcountry. So it's kind of the same. It's like workout, eat good food, meditate, read, all the like things that any self-help podcast would tell you.
Sure.
But I love it. It's like the best time of day. And then I basically, if you have work to be doing, great, like clients and projects currently happening, then like that's easy. You have stuff to be doing. But if you don't have work and you're a freelancer, you need to be spending your 9 to 5 doing outreach or making something, like going out and making something.
That's good stuff right there.
You really need to go out and do something. Otherwise, you'll sit in your apartment. And I'll admit, for months, I can't remember the series, but I think I watched like 5 or 6 full all seasons of different Netflix series. You can find yourself just like sitting and watching TV, but you at the end of the day will be miserable because you will when you're like when you don't have work and you think you're relaxing and you're like watching TV, you are under the surface, you are stressed and have anxiety because you know you don't have work, and so you shouldn't be watching TV.
Yep.
And you need to like everyone should have their thing that there's an outlet that relaxes them, but not having a full-time job, you can find yourself doing that all day.
Slip into that.
And you can't let yourself. You gotta hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, I just got to say, you're smarter on a personal level. You're more well balanced than I was at like your age for having like a healthy, good morning routine with like meditation and like, dude, I was just nothing but unhealthy work habits, and so it's cool. Just props to you for like that's making that a priority, because that's just as important as like the money you make is obviously taking care of yourself, and that took me. I feel like I'm just getting that down.
Yeah,
and I think that's a big deal. It's like, yeah, money's important, of course, but are you taking care of your mental health and doing setting a good routine with some structure? That helps me.
Yeah.
I love what you said about like literally a time frame from this to this. Yeah. That's what I kind of like about having an office is like I go in at this time.
An office is super nice.
And then I leave at this time. So I love that advice. Okay. Let's get to the end of this here. A couple quick let's jump into the hot topic fire round. You ready?
Yeah.
These are just gonna be so fast.
I just answered just straight up.
Just straight up. Here we go. We've got some Thanksgiving themes here. But yeah, it might be a mistake because this might not come out for like 2 weeks and then
then it's
Thanksgiving.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll do a little bit of both. Turkey or no turkey?
Turkey.
Turkey. Christopher Columbus or canceled?
I hate cancel culture, but I think Christopher Columbus is a pretty bad guy.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with
I think I'm okay canceling.
I think we should cancel him.
Yeah.
Sweet potato or normal potato? It could be mashed. It could be baked.
Normal. I mean, I love sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. I think, but regular mashed potatoes is so bomb.
We're 3 for 3 aligned. California or Utah? Just overall.
100% California.
No.
Yeah, I love California so much, and it is. I literally feel like I'm living a vacation every day.
This is where we could get heated. Let's talk about parking, cost of living.
Oh, I'm gonna be specific.
Although Salt Lake is getting
You didn't ask
expensive.
L.A. or Salt Lake City. You asked California.
That's the thing.
I live in Orange County. And it is a little slice of heaven.
Cost of living similar?
Honestly, Salt Lake has gotten so expensive.
I know.
Salt Lake's crazy expensive, but I would never live in LA. It's horrible. Orange County, best place ever.
At least you don't like LA, because I do not like LA. Taking a nap on Thanksgiving or don't take a nap?
I take a nap every day.
Every day?
Yeah, and my friends give me so much shit for it. My family gives me shit for it. I
15
try
minutes?
to keep it like 20, 30 minutes because if you take a too long a nap, then you're tired. But I recently watched Starting Five on Netflix.
I haven't seen Starting Five.
It's like the documentary about shows 5 NBA players and LeBron's one of them.
Yeah. My son was watching that.
You got to watch it. It's great. I love all those Netflix series. But I'm at peace now because LeBron James takes a 2-hour nap every day.
2-hour nap?
And
how does LeBron James have time for that?
I mean,
that's wild.
He plays basketball, takes a nap, and then goes to the game. And LeBron James is the most impressive physical specimen at almost 40 years old in the whole world. So
yeah, I need more sleep. Is good.
I'm gonna keep taking a nap.
It's not bad. You can't be that mad at someone for taking a nap.
My roommate says, "Well, you're not LeBron James, but if I want to be LeBron
still
James,
have healthy habits and stuff.
I got to keep napping."
Yeah.
So nap on Thanksgiving. For sure.
I'm gonna say no on that one. So grogginess. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's fair.
And then, last but not least, football on Thanksgiving or no football? Like too much sports going on, or you're fine with it?
Football, you got it's part of it. You have it on in the background.
Yeah.
It's not like the focal point, but
you're fine with it. So you say yes, football.
Yeah, football. I'm gonna be watching football, chatting with my nephew and my brother. Yeah. It's like a centerpiece of the.
Yeah, I like football. I think yes, football. Any other controversial topics just to throw out? This is just pure ad lib. If you have any you want to throw out. Cybertruck or no?
No Cybertruck.
Yeah, no, easy.
I'm a big Rivian guy. I don't
Rivian.
I don't like the headlights, but my dream cars are the Rivian R1T.
Rivians are cool. I've never really liked cars much, but I'm like the Rivians are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Zach Bryan?
Zach Bryan, the artist Zach Bryan? Yeah, my wife's got me because I've gotten hard into Post Malone lately.
Uh-huh.
If I were to leave my wife and marry a man, it would definitely be Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Because he's just, I love Posty.
I might go and see him on the 30th in California.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. I went to his concert recently. But Zach Bryan, she's got me a little bit into him because kind of Posty country stuff, right? He's country
he's great.
artist.
It's like he's like country. He's like alternative country.
His cover art's the one with like the cigarette in the mouth, right?
Yeah, but I bring him up
up.
because you brought up cancel culture, and I absolutely love Zach Bryan. His music is my favorite, but my sisters say I got to cancel him because of all this drama that I won't talk about on this podcast, but you could find it with one search online. He's in the process of getting canceled by women at least. So yeah. But he is an incredible artist.
Yeah, because Zach Bryan, this was the one I was thinking of. Like I've seen some of his
incredible album.
Yeah,
incredible.
They have some.
I love his music.
Well,
he's great sad boy country.
Can you just recap me what's going on there?
He's had some ex-girlfriends. His most recent ex-girlfriend come out and
was he a sexist?
He's not.
A chauvinistic
I guess
pig?
that's part of it. He has a lot of like verbal abuse allegations, and he's like offered to pay multiple ex-girlfriends upwards of $12 million to keep them silent.
$12 million?
Yeah, to just like be like, when we break up, you can't say anything bad about me. So his most recent one like didn't take the $12 million and has come out on a podcast like saying like he's shitty, and people are, it's tough. He's getting canceled.
So now the question should be Zach Bryan or no Zach Bryan.
The hard part is that all of his music is like about love and relationships.
What's great about Fire Round, we can't get into like too much here. You just have to say I'm with him or I'm not with him.
Oh no, I would have never
this.
brought him up if I had to say.
Where your sister's
I'm not
gonna
with
be pissed.
him. His music's just so good. It's like if Taylor Swift turned out to be a shitty person, would people cancel
she
her?
Can't be. She's like God. She's like woman Jesus because she can't.
I'm going to continue to listen to Zach Bryan's music.
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
Yeah, but what you want to say also is I don't support him.
I don't support someone being abusive. I got 3 sisters.
Of course, but he does have good music. See, but this is where this Fire
Michael
Round
Jackson
gets
had
spicy.
good music too.
So you're gonna cancel him or not?
I mean,
sometimes
it's easier to cancel someone who's dead,
Yeah. I mean, this is why the Fire Round I think is so spicy, because sometimes it's hard to just be like, yes, I will stick with Zach Bryan, or I'll listen to his music.
The world isn't black and white,
Yeah.
There's gray areas.
But the Fire Round, it has to stay black and white.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. So keep it up.
As of right now, I'm gonna do some research, but I'm gonna listen to Zach Bryan. Yeah. But it sounds like I need to get educated.
Do your research, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thank you, dude. What an honor. I appreciate you doing this. Like, super. I just want to give a shout out to Caleb. Like, I think my last little soapbox here is that it's not easy to go out and hustle and do your own thing. And I feel for you, and I look up to people and just have a lot of respect and admiration for people like you out there hustling, doing their thing. You're a good dude with just like, I've always loved your attitude. I feel like it's being a talented business owner is one thing and working hard as a cinematographer, but then the whole other half of this is like, I think attitude and personality and yeah, you've got it, dude. Like you're a nice guy with a good attitude who works hard, and like I could talk about that for days on how that's more important than any like drone certification or just talent you bring to the table. So props to you. Just want to give you props.
Thank you. I would like to say that Moto Studios is my favorite production company in Utah.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
It was really cool to see you go when I first you brought me on as an editor to see where you guys were then, and like this whole building office space you had was like in construction then, and just to like see it come to life over the past few years and to see it now is super inspiring, super cool. It's a dream of mine to one day have a space like this. And so I 100% look up to you and everything that you've built here. And
that's very kind.
Yeah, if I was still in Utah, I'd be hitting you up every day to work together. So.
Well, we still love to work with you. And #1 California dude, hands down. I'll just say you're my favorite freelancer in the state of California.
Wow.
Hands down. I don't have, like, truly. And I don't want to work with people in LA. Too many union. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, you're crushing. So
thanks, man.
Thanks for coming on. And with that, signing out.